Back to That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.
And welcome back from Times Square. Kevin McCullough, That Kevin Show on the Salem News Channel, Biz TV, and more than 300 radio stations across the country. Glad to have you with us. My next guest is no stranger to That Kevin Show. She has already been with us once this year in the debut year of the brand new entity. She's the executive director of America First Works. She has been for some 15 years in the political and nonprofit consulting arena, and she has just authored her brand new book called Beat the Elites. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ashley Hayek. Hello, lady. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
We're getting past Election Day on 2023 this week, and in places like Kentucky, New Jersey, Virginia, going into this election week, there was so much discussion of moms and the roles that moms, and particularly moms that have gotten active in cultural and societal issues, are going to play in this next election cycle. And you've been a mom that's kind of been straddling that world anyway for a little while. But do you sense, before we get into the discussion of your book, do you sense personally that there is new energy within that arena in terms of how they want to impact the next couple of years of elections?
Yeah, I've been looking a lot at this, just voting in general and the impact of the suburban vote, the urban vote. We've seen a huge shift with Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, especially as they lean towards more America First policies. And I think they've always been a part of, and moms like myself, we've been a part of America First policies. They just really haven't been conveyed to us in the way that is inclusive or involves us. And so what really happened, I think, if you go back during COVID, when parents' eyes were opened to what was in our kids' schools, the curriculum, or the fact that the teachers union was making a play to keep our kids masked, keep them out of school altogether. It really created this movement amongst parents, moms and dads, to get involved and understand what was happening. Since then, the issue of men competing in women's sports, from a safety issue, even a women's rights issue, is becoming a major policy that we're seeing so many people who I think even identified as Democrats are now getting behind this policy of protecting women's sports. So Ashley, this is just the beginning.
For so many years as a woman, you've been told that your vote doesn't really count because you didn't believe in aborting your baby and all the the checklist things that you had to do to be a female voter, the way that the establishment media and everybody else kind of diced you up. But there is this whole new thrust, particularly with moms that have school-age kids that don't want their kids being exposed to those kind of more radical ideas. And I just think that this is a demographic that the smart people in Washington have never really paid attention to. They've always kind of discounted as not being legit. And for a long time, I think a lot of moms have been too busy to vote, kind of some other things that they just haven't, it just hasn't bubbled up to the priority. But this year I'm sensing that there's a very different take in that because of policies like the one you just cited. And I'm hopeful that the candidates and everybody starts speaking to those issues, which you have done a certain degree of a good on that front in your new book called Beat the Elites, 5 Steps to Stop the Elites and Save America by Ashley Hayek. It's her first title. Ashley, talk to me about why you felt this was the message you needed to put in this book.
Yeah, well, really quickly, kind of going back to that point on abortion, that's been the main message of the Democrat Party, and especially since Roe v. Wade. And we saw that happen in the 2022 elections, where that was the entire focus was around abortion. And I think for a really long time, you had the left arguing reproductive health and the right arguing the baby. And there has not been really a policy that talks about the importance of the woman and the baby. And that's what I think America First really stands for, is how do you bridge that gap and make sure that we're taking care of women's health, but we're also acknowledging that there are 2 lives at stake. And you're going to see a big difference, I think, over the course of the next year as those policies are laid out. As it pertains to, suburban women, especially, that's going to be a completely new ballgame. And I think my book kind of is a great segue into this, because the left has doubled down on themselves and on extremism. And at some point, it's not going to work anymore. It's not working for the American people. You have big government, big tech, big pharma, big media. They've been comfortable exerting power and control over we, the people. And so they've lived a life of double standard. They give us orders that they don't follow. We saw that through COVID. They make themselves richer. We get poorer. They break the rules, and then they persecute us who are fighting for freedom. It's a war on the American people, and it's this constant double standard that we've seen, and that's what this book is about. And really, if we can come together, if conservatives can come together, that's why the cover of the book has all those little red fish, we can take down the shark.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great illustration, and I hope people can see it well. But you got this fish is made up entirely of tiny fish, and they're chasing this big shark here. What a great picture. Ashley, let me make an observation and then get your reaction to it, because it's something that I've been tracking for a while. You talked about the kind of double standard that the left holds in contempt for the people that aren't in power. And this is very much the way progressivism, socialism, communism have all worked. But even in the recent battle over anti-Semitism in this country, what I have noticed is that the left very much is empowered to tell the rest of us that the Palestinians are the only view that's proper in this debate. And yet, if you look at the Palestinian leadership of Hamas and others, you will see people that subjugate women, that, when they took them as political hostages, stripped them of their clothing, beat them in public, and had people come out and cheer that on. The people that AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and others aligned themselves with literally hate women. They don't want them to have the same liberties that you have here in this country. They certainly don't want you to have freedom of expression or of faith or any of that. But beyond that, they kind of hate the idea, and they publicly kind of point to it, that if someone is someone like you, who's a church-going, God-observant, tax-paying, loving mother who wants a good education for their kid, and by that you mean 2 + 2 = 2, and not that Joe equals June. They don't have any use for it. And to me, it seems that the left's message is so anti. It's not just America last. It's just not that it's not America first. It's like it doesn't even register on the American scale of what America looks like. Am I wrong, or is this the image that they present?
No, this is 1000% the image that they present. I can't imagine when you look at the college students on these campus who are tormenting other Jewish American students, it's mind-blowing to me that would even remotely be tolerated. And the fact that it's not only tolerated, but it's celebrated is disgusting. She's
Ashley Hayek. Here's the book, Beat the Elites, 5 Steps to Stop the Elites and Save America. Ashley Hayek, you want to get this at your local bookseller or off of Amazon.com. We're coming right back. Don't go away.
Ready or not, we'll be right back. That Kevin